stat overlay, Clay, because I was so sad when we didn't have it the other day.
Yeah, it's, but it wasn't our fault. So obviously
As long as it's not our fault.
yeah, obviously there's something going on between, I don't know, the competitive servers and the stats, because it was pulling up the minimap instead, and I mean it was saying the key
Oh,
was bound correctly.
I didn't even realize what map I connected to. I just started looking around. It's Train VE, Clay.
Ooh,
I don't think we've ever done a match on Train VE.
I don't think so. That's the Volcano edition, correct?
That's right.
Trying to remember. It's been a while since we saw that one. I think he made it. You could
Hooked
go under
ladder
trains, right?
under train. Right. Move the A bomb site to the center hallway. That
Made the bomb sites flatbeds.
Right. Exactly. The bomb sites are flatbeds now instead of two big silo thingies. What is noticeably missing from this is Brown Hall or Back Hall entering into B doesn't have that raised platform that the new official train has, which is an interesting thing because that's sort of become a useful tool that many people are now used to after playing train for so long, but now because we're on VE and VE released right before that official update, that just doesn't exist.
Yeah, and we haven't really casted much of the official one either. I think we maybe only did one match or something on that one. I'm gonna try connecting to this just to make sure that I should have the map, but I just want to make sure it's working.
Right.
Oh, Counter-Strike. Connect to the server. You know you want to. So on the last match, how was that match? Who ended up winning? I didn't see it.
DTI Esports ended up taking it. They will advance, and I suppose I'm
Was
not
it a
quite.
2-0 or was it
It was a 2-0. It ended a little early. They being Drunken Thunderbolts put up a good fight, but of course it's kind of hard to bring down Roka. That dude is an animal, and there are very few people who just like are ridiculous aimers that just go savage on people. A couple that I can think of off the top of my head, like Anger, Mo, Freakazoid, and him. They're just like absolute one-man army savages.
Yeah.
Fun to watch, and of course, with him in the finals, it will make this one even more fun to watch. And I think, Clay, if you would go with the standard convention of thinking here, if Frag Machines is the favorite win, and I'm not saying that Band of Cavaliers can't pull it off. They have won against this squad before. But if Frag Machines win, then I would like to see Kyre's team go up against a Roka Schaefer team.
Yeah, well, if they do win, won't they be going up against them?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But, that's what I was saying. Band of Cavaliers, the War Owl team, has their say of it right now, so they can see if they can go to the finals.
Huh. It's not letting me connect. Every time I try to connect, I'm stuck on initializing world. Maybe I need to delete my file and re-download it or something.
Perhaps, if that is the...
No, it's downloading from the workshop now, apparently. Okay.
Good. Well, VE had a couple of updates, and it's probably because since VE came out, you haven't played VE, and it's the refreshes on it through the workshop haven't gone through to your system.
Yeah.
Welcome to our viewers. You are watching Sivo TV. I'm Cotton. My partner's Cotton. I have a stamp on my wrist. I don't even. What's it? Oh, it's a thumbs up.
What's going on?
Well, it's upside down.
Was that your stamp to get in the bar last
Yeah, it
time?
was.
Make sure you're over 21 or whatever?
So it's a thumbs up, right? And I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this?
Not really.
Okay, can you see
It's the thumbs
now?
up for you're okay to drink.
Yeah, but can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, so I look at it and I was like, it's a thumbs down, and it's like making fun of me. I was like, why is my stamp giving me a thumbs down? And I was like, oh, wait a second. Okay, back on topic. You're watching Sivo TV. I've got my partner's collapse. You were watching the semifinals earlier between DTI Esports and Drunken Thunderbolt. After that, you're going to get another matchup, this semifinal matchup between this is Frag Machines and Merry Band of Cavaliers.
Merry Band of Cavaliers. I feel like they should throw in the word unicorn in that name.
Maybe they ride into battle on unicorns,
Yeah.
wielding M4s, M4s and cutlasses.
Merry Band of Unicorn Riding Cavaliers.
That's ring. That's got a ring. Not really. Kyra's connected to the server. We got 6 in. Clay, how far are you on your download?
It downloaded. Now it's just sitting here again. So hopefully it'll get moving. Yeah, this is spectacular stuff right here.
Really compelling.
There
I'm
we
sure.
go. Sending client info. Always a good sign. I'm in.
Awesome. Let's do a test. Hit the Q button. No stats. Why is that?
Oh.
You want the stats?
Yeah, I do.
Me too. I don't understand. If anybody understands why this is happening, if you have experience with GoTV, and
It's definitely, I think it's just something with GoTV because I've gone to the watch page and actually gone in there and looked at the stats to see them and see how they look and stuff like that, and it did work, so it's just, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that, CS has bugs with GoTV,
I wonder if there's a bind that we could just assign a new key to be the stat sheet page, because I wonder if it has to do with our current bind, the last weapon button.
No, because that's what the button is, and if you look at where it shows like all your bonds right there, it says Q as graphs. So.
Oh, I know. I'm wondering if the problem we can solve if you reassign the bind, because in
my client binding through the console.
Right, exactly. If we knew that command, maybe we could test it out to see if it was just a convar bug, or if it was just a, well, if it is or is not a convar bug. 7 in the server, waiting on a bunch. Clay, let's talk about the map. It's Train VE. We know some of the changes here, and there are plenty of them. One that I had noticed that's kind of underrated is CT Heaven. Look how empty that is. Just if you'll pan over there for me. There's nothing up there. It's even narrower than before. There's no cover.
Yeah, and it's missing where the ladder actually goes all the way up to it. It doesn't have that little slanted roof area where you could kind of get up there and gib whoever's up there.
Yeah, actually, I really like that one. That was like the countermeasure to finding somebody up there, because you could just get halfway up there and just absolutely destroy whoever was hiding there. These trains, of course, shaped differently, also have a gap underneath these locked wheels. You can hide under, crawl under, pass under, whatever, to get them. A second electrical box to replace the those like nuclear waste biohazard cans that used to be there. No center train, bomb trains in the back in the A2 tunnel. Now on a train bed instead of the 2 pillars of things. Remember, Clay, a long time ago when we saw this, we also cried foul on the fact that there was no fence at Alley.
Yep, that's actually, I was waiting for you to have a pause in talking so I could bring that up, but you already did. Yeah, no fence back on the alley. Then I always loved using that as a picking advantage to pick the guy on alley side when you're playing T. And yeah, so that...
It takes skill to do that, too. You got to have a good sense of where your body is, because sometimes you just slip right off the fence when you're not paying attention.
Yeah, and it made it a lot harder for the CTs to just, because alley is pretty easy to hold, I think, if that isn't in play. But yeah.
The gap, of course, when the sandbags is now gone, it's replaced by 2 pierceable standing wooden boxes inside of alley. This can no longer be called Ivy because there is no Ivy here. It's been removed, replaced by whitewashed paint to allow people to be more visible, including paint at the back of the pick spot in alley. No, I believe there was, and correct me if I'm wrong, Clay, that there was a boiler at the left side of alley as well that used to just clutter the space, and I think that's gone as well.
Yeah, I believe so. Also, ladder room is changed now. It's more it's a little bit safer for a terrorist to come down. Can't really get picked coming down the ladder through the outside area. Also, with the space between under the bomb trains, not bomb trains, the trains in general outside, you can now have the altPUG in mid going between either side of T or CT, so that's back in play. I mean, it was in play in the other version. It is just, I guess,
it was a very difficult shot.
Yeah, it was basically, you kind of had to get lucky to not hit their legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the obstruction, if you will, point your camera clay, put it inside of the T connector and slide it out by strafing and look down toward alley. A lot of the obstruction for that initial pick in the A3 tunnel is now gone, so you can fight offer to offer there again. That was a classic move in 1.6 that was gone largely in part from the first year of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, so we are happy to have that back. Clay, another one that I wanted to point out, and this is by far one of the most subtle changes if you are not a Counter-Strike veteran, but also the biggest change if you are a Counter-Strike veteran. Point your camera to the ladder room, if you will. Look and see there is now a segmented horseshoe type shape to this ladder room. It's no longer a single linear function. You've got to make a couple of turns to get to your destination.
Absolutely. Also, I think another small change that might go unnoticed is the fact that the ladders on the trains are actually on the backs of the trains now, rather than in the middle how they were. Which actually I think they fixed that on the latest Valve version as well.
Clay, your freeload camera is zipping around. Hold shift so you move a little slower.
Oh, wow, I didn't. Does that really affect it?
Oh yeah. Try it yourself.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Just let go and see what happens.
Yeah, it's going just as fast.
Oh, well, it works for me. Anyway, now let's go to Inner. Inner is a completely different story, where Inner is very, very barren in the standard version of Train these days to simplify the combat, which I think is a plus. They've added in multiple train cars here to make the combat more complex, and this is one of those classic maps, Clay, that...
You thought it was a plus that there wasn't as much in the train yard?
Yeah, I do hold that opinion, but I know many people disagree with me, so...
Well, just because I think the main problem with that was that it was a lot harder for the terrorists to defend the site once they actually get in there, because they didn't have much to hide behind once the bomb is down.
That's true. The simplification of combat is something that's prevalent in many Counter-Strike maps. If you will take, for example, how clean Dust 2 is in comparison to a map like Overgrown in Call of Duty 4 or the Siege of Shanghai in Battlefield 4, simplicity is the hallmark of Counter-Strike maps. There are arena types, the visibility and sight lines are always good, and there's not a whole lot of clutter. This Inner bomb site breaks that convention, and it breaks it in ways that Counter-Strike typically doesn't do. And this is one of the few cases where this type of gameplay is promoted over the simplistic gun-to-gun gameplay. And for consistency's sake, it does do a disservice to Counter-Strike, but I understand because that this is tradition. We understand that Train Inner is supposed to be sort of a cluster.
Yes, we're on the knife run actually, and it's looking to be in favor of the Band of Cavaliers. One thing I noticed in there, I want to just look at because it's knife run, not too big of a deal. There's like a catwalk in the back towards CT spawn, and it looks like there's a ladder you could boost to. Do you know if that's live? Like, can you actually get on that?
Moving toward it now, the ladder in CT spawn, what are you referring to?
If you're in Inner and you look towards CT spawn, there's a catwalk and a ladder to the right.
Oh, well, I don't know that a body can fit through that ladder. If you look at the port,
yeah, that's very
the opening.
skinny.
Yeah, but maybe you can do an illegal head boost if you stand on the back train at near the connector and stack up and try to launch somebody up there, maybe even flash boost up there. That would be an interesting one to try, because VE is not really in circulation these days. It's one of those things that we don't know until we see somebody try it. So I wonder. I do wonder.
Very interesting. So Mary Band won the knife round, and of course they're going to be taking CT side. No, but no surprise right there on train. So
yeah, that is the only way you really want to start. Otherwise, you're just putting yourself in a position to fail. Clay, let me hear your prediction.
Oh, my prediction? I think I'm probably going to be looking towards Frag Machines on this one. Probably to the tune of, let's say, 16-8.
16-8. You give them the rounds on CT side, but you are accounting for the fact that Frag Machines perhaps are superior aimers.
Yeah, I think they're going to be able to pull enough rounds on T side to, get a nice win, and I think the majority of Band of Cavaliers rounds are probably going to come CT side. So
note that the fact that this is, although a former invite players, not everyone here plays at the main level, and I think that this one is actually much closer, and sources who have been following this altPUG league have told me already that Merry Band of Cavaliers has already beaten this squad once before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I call this one.
Well, you got the insider trading information right there, so that
Sue
doesn't
me.
count.
Sue me. Are we live?
We should be live now, yes.
All right, here we go. Welcome to CEVO TV. I'm Cotton, my partner is Klops. You are watching a best-of-3 semifinal of altPUG League. This is Merry Band of Cavaliers taking on Frag Machines. We have, of course, just seen the knife round. We also know that Merry Band of Cavaliers is standing on the CT side. The round, or the half, that you need to really build up the rounds for to give yourself a chance to win, Clay. So if you need to do that, how do you start? How do you defend on pistol round?
Well, the way I would do is just basically play back player spots like they are doing right now. They're doing a good job. They take out 2, as we're seeing, and it's actually a 2-for-2 trade, but only 2 members left of the terrorists go down as one more dies. Excuse me. Nubler, almost getting caught in the back right there, does go down to Frank Grimes, and that's going to leave SLI on the clutch.
All by his lonesome. The number 0 man trying to crawl around the corner of that wheel, but Clay, when you crawl out from corners, you're moving so slowly that you almost never get a kill that way. That was a very low-level move that SLI just tried to pull out.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like you said, you're moving very slow, and it just makes you a really easy target for someone. And we saw that happen just right there for SLI. He went down quite easily. And like I was saying, pistol round, I think if they just played their spots like they did, they would come out to win, and that's exactly what they saw. And now they should be able to pick up 2 more pretty easily here.
1 kill, 2 kills already on the field. Kyre and Nubler going down. A third one, that's Omni. We know one more is in the ladder, and the second, actually the last player alive, no longer alive, was at the alley. That's the bomb down, and this round almost certainly a win for the counter-terrorists with no casualties and virtually no damage, Clay. When you play a flawless round like this, it starts building cash, and what can that do for you?
It's going to let you snowball into better guns, especially on this map where ops are very powerful. Over at alleyway or inner, they're very good at holding, and when you get the money going, you're going to have the advantage. And going against against the terrorists on CT side, that's going to be huge.
Now full buys, ooh, that was a nice one. Finally connecting after a couple of exchange shots there. Frank Grimes goes down. SLI has a chance to pick up a weapon, and there's another eco round after this most likely, so I don't understand why he didn't try to make a play for that one. He's about to come up. No, he just turned his back to his enemy there. MBOC, Merry Band of Cavaliers, Dix bring down SLI with an assist there. Clay, I gotta also add, this is not one of those maps where you force buy, and there's a reason for that one. You need to full buy, and the reason is
smokes. You need smokes for outer and inner even, because the entry points are super narrow, and it's really clustered when you come out of mid or alleyway or even inner, and it's really easy to get picked off. So you got to use smokes to block off the oppers and gain the advantage in getting into the sites.
Absolutely. We got a Glock pain train here, and nade lands right at SLI's feet, absolutely devastating him. Two terrorists left, Omni and Nubler, excuse me, just Nubler, and that Mo Fest just ends. Clay, in the span of those last 2 rounds, totaling 10 possible deaths for the counter-terrorists, they only gave up 1. That's a lot of money they just built up, and even with their full buys, with their M4s, you can see that their leftover wallets look still fairly padded. For the terrorists, not so much.
Do you say they only gave up 1?
1 death in 2 rounds.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, 2 great save rounds for him, and I'm surprised we're not seeing ops here on the CT side. We see one get picked up on terrace. Omni's going to be wielding that. Almost got that pick in mid, but he's going to have to rethink what he's going to be doing here, because he did see that CT pushing up, trying to be aggressive on him.
That's right. One thing that we emphasize when we play this is to throw a smoke to block off that mid connector pick, because losing someone to a connector pick is just so devastating at the beginning around here. War Owl peeks, sees Kyre, brings him down to about 37 here. Kyre, who lost that exchange here, is now facing 3 counter-terrorists, as we can see in the X-ray vision here, Clay. I see many entrances happen at different times, and that is a recipe for failure, leaving this all on individual performances round after round. And for success on train, you've really got to hit timing together. You've got to come out at the same time here, but Miller Main doesn't really care. He's finished up this round all by himself, and those are 3 consecutive headshots, a triple.
That's an ace. That's an ace.
I didn't even see the first 2. He gets an ace on that first gun round on the terrorist side of train. That's a mountain to climb, and by the way, that shouldn't have happened. that really shouldn't have happened. Those entries were so sloppy from Frag Machines. That individual effort completely salvaged that round.
Yeah, I mean the entries were a little not they they were sorry they weren't going at the same time, but they weren't too spread apart. So I mean it still had people spread out a little bit, and they were able to pick it up, like you saw Millerman getting the acer, and he's actually going hard once again. Omni gets a pick at mid. And does finally go down, and there's War Owl picking him a nice kill at the alleyway and getting the bomb for himself. So this round quickly in favor of Merry Band of Cavaliers.
Now we'll go to our number 9 man, Noobler, who has his Galil standing out in the middle. He's got an idea that somebody's up in the heaven position. Oh, Frank Grimes just got turned on. There we go. There's that person in the heaven position. He knows where every counter terrorist is remaining because he just saw that peek from the War Owl. He's got a chance because no one knows where he is, Clay. And this is where the hiding under the train's classic gameplay of Train comes back. This allows you to do those little ninja moves here, but War Owl was prepared. Another round for the counter-terrorists. 4-1, Clay. And the split. Tell me how you feel about a 10-5, 9-6, or even 11-4 split.
I think getting 5 rounds on terrorist side is probably the minimum you want. I mean, if you get that, then you definitely have a chance of taking it CT side. But
it's not even a safe call if you get 4 rounds, you don't necessarily win. Excuse me, if you're a terrorist and you get 4 rounds, that counter-terrorist team didn't necessarily win that half.
Yeah, agree. I mean, 4 to 5 rounds is pretty much, I mean, could be all you need for a terrorist side to be successful. So if they could get that, then they should be looking pretty decent.
Here is another exchange, a meat grinder affair here. 2 left, 1-on-1, Frank Grimes versus Miller Main. And Miller, who pulled off that ace clutch, has the bomb near him. He won't try to pick it up. Instead, he procures a weapon first. Smarter play from him. Our more important clutch man is the number 6 man because he has to recover the bomb. He's on the hunt here. He's going after Frank Grimes and finds him, cleans him up. Clay, that's a quad for him, and I have an early candidate for MVP thus far.
Yeah, he's certainly making the case here. I mean, these 2 rounds that they have right now, they're pretty much all in favor because of Miller Main. He's a phenomenal player. He's doing phenomenally right now. And look at the money for the counter terrorists. Only War Owl is going to be have enough money to buy, so that's going to put him on a save. And thanks to that win, they should be able to pick up a 3rd here, and that's going to put them well on their way of getting that 5.
Not often do you find the counter-terrorists on a save round on DE Train, but as it stands, they are doing just that. 4 stacked at outer, as you might expect. These entrances should be the easiest that they will have all game if Frag Machines plays this correctly. 2 coming through alley, 1 waiting CT, excuse me, that dumpster wait at T-connector was already done by the time we saw it. Noobler steps out, shoots the person trying to guard alley, and WTF Ender, what the Fender. I remember we had struggles saying that name before. It's,
what the F?
Yeah, WTF Ender or
I'll
what
just
the
call
Fender.
him Ender.
Ender, good movie or good book with a movie coming out in a little bit. Did that movie come out? I wanted to see that one.
No, it's not coming out. I just recently saw previews for it. Saw actually
It's
a special on
not
HBO
coming
where
out.
they were talking about it. No, I said it's not out yet.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Anyway, you pull within 1 with the counter-terrorists on DE Train. You've got to feel pretty proud of yourself. Another eco round, Clay. This is not the sort of style you want to be playing.
Yeah, and I'm wondering why they're having to save 2 rounds in a row. I mean, looking at the terrorists, not too many kills, well, except for Miller Main, I guess, just wrecking face 2 rounds in a row. So this could give them the 4th round, which is exceptionally well, and they are actually out in the outer, and if they were smart, they would probably move this into inner and get that quick bomb plant.
So Kyra and Omni double up and clear out the bottoms, the entire outer area with
just kill everybody.
I was gonna try to make any sense of what was going on, but deaths happened so quickly that I couldn't even formulate my sentences. 4-4, it's all evened up here. Hopefully there won't be another eco round, and there isn't. Clay, the buy save slide for a counter-terrorist is one that hamstrings you in any map, but this map even more so because you can't give up more than 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah, exactly. And look at this, the Frag Machines already have 4 rounds, and not only were those rounds important for getting the 4th round, but they also built up a lot of cash right there. I believe 3 of their members are well over 6K in cash, so they should be looking good for the next couple of rounds as well.
Twisted gets 1 a second. That's another one down at alley. That's Miller Main, our MVP thus far, who went down, and that makes this round even more possible for Merry Band of Cavaliers. They need to reestablish themselves after losing some critical rounds early on, and Omni, the last one alive, has the bomb. Now, Clay, I feel like this is a victory here, but no one on War Owl's Merry Band of Cavaliers is going to feel like they can take a sigh of relief because 5-4 is not a split that feels good at all for a counter-terrorist.
No, it's definitely not. And look at this. Omni's going to try and get this. He's actually going to get the bomb planted, which risky maneuver because I was going to say you might want to just save that op, friend. But he did have $11,000. I think I probably would have gone for the save though. Because
Well,
he has 11,000, but I mean, look at Miller Main's a little low on cash. Everyone else seems to be good, but he could have bought, and they could have been all sitting comfortable in terms of
well,
money,
with the
so.
bomb plant, you're delivering about a net worth of about $6,000 to your team, whereas your op is about worth 45. And
True.
in terms of net worth, he made the right decision. Now, it would have been awesome if he could just like plant the bomb, run away, save his gun, and then let the round end with them defusing it. But that was an ideal world, and he got shot in the back before he even got a chance. So here's the mid pick. Omni sits, not looking for anyone in the Z connector because we know someone's not there. They smoke out him. Smart play by the counter-terrorist. There will be one on the ladder. That's Noobler. Kyre waiting at the top of the stairs at upper halls, fighting off Frank Grimes, who's also smoked there. This is a delay tactically, and if you throw smokes early on, you prevent the all-out rush. But if everybody throws their smokes, then you've effectively just delayed the rush to a later point in the round. Flashes through. Nade lands on Miller Main, bringing him down to 50. They know that somebody's nearby. They can hear him, but they just don't know where he is because of that smoke in their eyes. That smoke is actually not blocking them entirely. They're going to let Omni go for a pick here, but this flashes, these really dedicated smokes and flashes are making it so difficult for anyone to make any headway through that smoke clay, and that's really disciplined nade usage.
Yeah, it certainly is. You were talking about, them blowing their smokes at the beginning of the round, but they did a good job cascading their flashes alternatively right there, and it really helped them as they stopped the push and were able to pick up kills.
2-on-1, Noobler left again, and he is stuck out in outer without the bomb, holding his AK and not much else. He is very weak at 23 health. This could be the guillotine here for Frag Grimes. There's the shot, there's the kill, 6-4, another round built on top of their one-round lead. Clay, I criticize the smokes all over the map. I typically like to have one or two in certain places and then save teammates other smokes to use them later in the round. But like you said, those flashes were just so devastating. Frag Machines just couldn't get out of the door because they kept getting flashed. They turn back around, they get flashed again. That was actually a great play.
It was, and they kind of, they even had two people coming out of ladder in which they were able to stop those guys as well. So I mean, even though there was mass confusion going on over at Alley, they still knew that, hey, we're most likely going to have people coming out of ladder because that's pretty much the smart thing to do as a terrorist side is to have multiple entries, and that's what they did, and that's what they were prepared for, and they stopped it quite nicely.
We have an entry smoke and entry flash. The bomb is sitting in upper brown halls. It's almost assuredly a B strat once they send somebody down this ramp. A second smoke down the ramp will make it that much harder to see through. They're going for it. Kyre throwing a flash over the top to blind the sight. The person in Z totally blind. Frank Grimes over the top ramp is fighting to stay alive. He is isolated. The bomb will go down. Exchange. SLI picks up the lurk kill, and he does his job here. Twisted has 3 people in the smoke ahead of him. Puts a shot right in between the triangle of counter-terrorists. He has yet to land a hit. What a shame, because all you have to do is guess in just a little space there, and 60% of that smoke is terrorist. 3 left, excuse me, for the terrorists. They're all hiding and camping. This is very, very difficult to pull off if you are a counter-terrorist. Getting this defuse will be next to impossible if you have Omni trying to op you while you defuse. Oh, Twisted just missed his opportunity. He totally could have won that round if he just stuck with it.
Yeah, well, he almost had it right there. Omni was having some trouble trying to land those pistol shots on him. That was going to be a close one.
Absolutely right. I saw Omni miss an op shot. He missed nearly 10 pistol shots. That would have been a huge foible there, but as it stood, thankfully he got the last minute kill, because I think, yeah, you're right, he could have gotten that clutch defused.
When I saw Twisted spraying through the smoke at those 3 terrorists, I was kind of surprised because he didn't have the silencer on, so you could see the bullets coming through the smoke or where it was being shot from, and the terrorists, they were just sitting there looking at him. They didn't even try to spray through the smoke back at him, so I was a little confused by that, but it looks to be another save round.
Oh, Twisted's got his hand on the trigger. If he could have just landed that headshot and traded out 1-1, that would have been perfect, but as it stands, no. Kyre enters, gets War Owl sitting on top of the train, gets the Fender sitting on top of the train, or the train ladder. Only one left on this eco round, Frank Grimes. obliterates Kyre. Will pick up a gun, gets a second one before going down 6-6. Clay, 6 is too many. I'll just say it. It's too many.
It certainly is. I was going to say, and this is the point when Band of Cavaliers is going to be thinking, oh crap, we did something wrong.
They only have to play this map up until the point where they feel like they can still win it, and then they have to start getting their minds right. Because if you dwell on this and you start thinking we didn't put enough rounds on the CT side, you start getting into your own hole. It's more important to just keep your morale up and get ready for the next map here. It is a gun round again. Many players down in the A2 and A3. They're all lined up in one firing window, which is always a disaster. One left in the A2 window. He gets one tapped by Kyre. That was beautiful, and Frank Grimes will be the last one to get cleaned up. You never want the T's to take a lead on that. We're harping on this, and it's so important that you give yourself a chance to win on the second half. When you give the T's a lead, it's a sad time.
It certainly is. And, I mean, we talked about how it's such a big deal to not let Terrace get past 5, but, I mean, it's certainly not a guaranteed win. We've seen teams who have let Terrace do quite well, and they just seem to have a better Terrace side than they do CT side. So, I mean, it's definitely not going to be the end of the game if they do win out here.
You are absolutely right. Oh, Miller Main, too fast, turns on Twisted, gets the man in heaven. The third one is Morel, that's a triple for him. The fourth added by Nubler. One left is Frank Grimes, and he has been the last one alive many times, Clay, because he tends to be the far lurker, the rotator, or wherever in the other bomb site. So he gets left with a huge clutch job, and oftentimes he doesn't put a bunch of shots in the back of Miller Main and miss that many times. But
is that another double save?
Yes. Yeah, it actually... No. Actually, when they were all lined up in A2 and A3 and just got mowed down, stacked up over atop each other, they had N4s and ops.
Okay.
Clay, it's do or die. Look at the wallets for the CTs.
Well, it's the last round, so they had to buy it regardless. But, yeah, I mean, they want to win this round, so they only had that 1 round gap. And, I mean, 8 rounds T side, that's scary.
Here we go. Another entrance is looking good thus far. 2 entry kills for the terrorists. That's Dix and Warral who go down. One counter-terrorist has decided to do something about it. That's a WTF Ender or a What the Fender kill there. 2-1. This round is essential for the success of the Merry Band of Cavaliers if they want to put together something on the second half here. SLI is sitting at the hell position. He knows where Twisted is.
Twisted knows where he is, too, though.
Yeah, this is a bit of a standoff here. I'm watching SLI's perspective as he is trying to clutch. I can't get over the fact that he crouch walks. When he crouch walks, it just makes me want to kill myself a little.
I don't think he's going to look left either. Oh, he does.
He gets one. He knows where the other one is. Oh, he turned away. No,
what are you doing? What are you doing?
No, turn back.
Oh, come on. Oh no, that is so unfortunate.
If he had just taken 2 steps to his left, he would have seen a exposed.
I thought he did see him because Frank came around the corner and took a shot at him, but he still thought he was behind him somehow.
I think perhaps SLI overthought that when he killed his teammate, he thought Frank Grimes might have just run around the other side to get him from the other angle, but Frank Grimes just stood pat, and we know what happened.
Man. That's just, that just seems so unfortunate. But I mean, either way, great half for Frag Machines picking up 8 on the T side, and that's going to put them in a good spot for CT side. All they need to do is play passive, hold their positions, and stop any type of rushes or any be able to work through any smokes with have good coordinated nades to prevent terrorists from coming through the smokes or using the smokes effectively. I think they should be good.
Have good nades. You're watching
Have good nades. Thank you.
You're watching CMO TV. I'm caught my partners, Klops. Gotta tell you guys that we are doing the altPUG League today, but I believe on Monday we'll be doing Week 3 of SIVO Season 3, and I want you guys to be following this channel. And how I'm going to get you to follow this channel, I'm going to tell you. Week 3 has a matchup between iBuyPower and Complexity. Take a look at that one. Actually, take a look at this, because we have a pistol round going on here. Merry Band of Cavaliers has made a statement with 2 entries onto Miller Main and Kyre, the 2 stars of this team thus far, and they are looking so strong here. No death thus far for the T's, and they will not have one. 8-8 evened up, and you add 2 to this, Clay. You've got to feel, if you're Merry Band of Cavaliers, you're in this conversation.
Exactly. They're starting it off right. That pistol round was so important for them to get a good jump on the second half here and get the rounds that they need to get, because they got a lot of work to do here. Terrace side on train.
So I know I just interjected this before, like the round and just kind of flippantly said it, but I buy power and complexity this week.
We'll also
Hell
have
yeah.
giveaways too. Woo!
Oh, giveaways, but yeah, I buy power and complexity this week. What the hell?
That's going to be
Anyway,
an awesome match.
Alley Charge was unusually successful. Omni and Kyre walk away with weapons, and that's going to endanger the success of the T's here. So they're going to need to get a bomb plant and try to leverage their position in the site as best as they can. Noobler fires through the smoke and bring down Dix. This is suddenly the nightmare scenario for the terrorists here. What should have been an easy round is slipping very fast, and they cannot afford to lose it here. They've evened it up. 2 down. That's SLI and Omni. Kyre and Noobler left fielding 1 gun between the 2 of them. War Owl's on life support. Kyre turns around, gets off the ladder, and gets a double to finish it off. Clay, that's a big play, getting an eco round win.
That is a huge, huge play. Like we said, winning the pistol round was so important for them, and they did it, and they were able to get the advantage, and they could have rolled it into 3, and then it just fell completely short, and now the CTs had the chance to retake the lead here once again. So, well, they did take the lead, but they have the chance to, just put their foot further down on the throat and, just put the squeeze on.
Speaking of squeeze, it's going to be a 5-man squeeze coming out this ramp. They've just decided to go pain train all the way through to lower B and try to take over the bomb site. Now they have a gun in front of them, and I think Frank Grimes just went to the dive, or went for a dive to get it, but he got mowed down before he got there. So Dix will be the only one defending the site, trying to prevent this defuse, and he's reloading with Miller Main right in his face, so there's no chance there. It's a good bomb plant, though, Clay, because, that's how you get back into it, making yourself, giving yourself another 3K for a bye next round is the start.
Yeah, I mean, not too bad. They got the bomb plant, they got 2 kills, so that's going to force 2 rebuys, and now they should have enough money to get the guns that they want to get, and even get the smokes that they need to be able to penetrate these sites effectively.
So now you have a chance to start to work your game, and your game has to be a matchup of personnel. You've got to find out where your entries are. You've got to find out who's performing worst on this Frag Machines team, which is hard because they're all fragging quite equally, and figure out where your best point of entry is. Not necessarily where you want to go, but where your personnel matchups lead you.
And yeah, as you saw, Dix doing a nice job right there, getting a quick kill in the ladder room. Had one of the CTs, Kyre. He was doing a push there, but wasn't expecting him to be coming down that quickly, so...
Omni actually scoped out at the alley looking for one there. There was a Twisted there, and if he had just been a second earlier, he would have had a free op kill. But alas, no. 9 men left on the field, only 4 for the counter-terrorists. Here's smoke in the eyes of Omni. He takes a quick scope onto Twisted, and that was beautiful. Another kill by Millermain, and SLI adds to the story. Frank Grimes already down. 2 left, both for the terrorists. Both of them are out in the middle of outer, kind of isolated, unable to do anything here. Dix now recoiling, trying to escape. Millermain won't let it happen. Yeah, I see another save round in this future, Clay.
Definitely. They had about 5K each of them to get that round, and they did a full buy, so yes, they're obviously going to be on the save round since they didn't get the bomb down. I thought it was looking good because we saw that early kill onto Kyre in the ladder, and I thought they'd be able to work off that, go pick up either the weakness over at A or B, but it just was ineffective, The nice off shot from Omni in that alleyway. He bravely stepped through the smoke and was able to get a kill. And look at this SLI. It's a rush to enter. SL on the defense gets 2, and he's trying to get another one with the pistol. Can't get him as Dix is there to get it, so that's a bomb plant. That's extra money for the terrorist. That's probably going to be about all it is, because it's Dix versus 3 members of CTs, and they're coming in strong.
He has to try to clutch, and it's going to be very hard. Our number 3 man has somebody at the upper ramp. Kyre cleans it up with his Scar. With this much money and so little money for the terrorists here, at 12 rounds, you could be projecting this into the 14-15 round range where they can't necessarily recoup and get back in this game. But that's all right. It's a best of 3 in the altPUG semifinals. If they don't come back, it's not the end of the world. We hope that they do. And this, Clay, is this a partial buy? No, it's not. Thank God. All right, so we had said this earlier. You've got to really assess your personnel matchups here. It's not great to just force the issue and go with the standard 2 mid, 2 alley. Nice pick. Kyre goes down. Nice counter pick. Omni sends the message back to one defender. He goes down. 1 in CT Heaven and 1 in Z Connector. That CT Heaven man dropped, actually. Now standing in the cubby by CT Heaven. This, Clay, you've got to find out exactly who is the weakest for holding their sights, and then try to exploit that. Because just sending everybody generically, one person ladder, two people mid, and two people to the alley is just a cop out sort of base strategy.
It is, yeah.
It's better to try to engineer a kill.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I don't think they're going to be getting it at Alleyway with the boy Omni is playing. He seems to be on fire with that op right now. So, I mean, I think they're going to want to try to smoke off Alleyway to avoid them getting picked as they come out mid or ladder, and then maybe try to work inner and test those spots.
There are two schools of thought where you can isolate a spot on the map that you want for control, or you can isolate a player on the map that you want for control. And right now, since Frag Machines is playing so strong, all of them across the board, you might be right that we should isolate a player. And the way to do that, Clay, is by coordinating for Alley. And this kill right here, that's regardless about to happen. Nubler goes down in the brown halls and gives away the position of 2, including the bomb carrier. We'll get back to that one in a second. Here comes the rotate Miller main and Omni and SLI trying to retake before the bomb gets planted. Twisted down in the back of the site, while guarding with his buddy Dix. Nice 4-tap by SLI, or excuse me, by War Owl onto SLI. 2 left for the counter terrace, and this round looking pretty good for the terrace. They need this one. Frank Grimes having a hard time cleaning this one up. Omni, who's been left with an off before, had failed to clutch, and this time he wants to change that fate. Turns around, sees one under the train. Nice kill there. He needs a headshot on this one. Ah, he gets it. That's a double.
Goodness.
We got one up top, and he's going to go for the defuse, isn't he?
Yeah, he did the flash, and so it put the sound out, but no, Frank Grimes knew it must have been happening, and he does get that kill. So that gets the terrace one. And how did Frank not die right there?
Because the explosion of the bomb is really small now. If you notice, when you blow up these bombs, it's like a cloud of like poisonous gas, like nerve gas or something. So it's not like a big explosive device. Pretty cool that actually we've put up with 10 years of just randomly exploding crates, but this time we get a nerve gas bomb or something like that. What I wanted to say is that you can also isolate personnel, and you can isolate map spots. So if you need to knock out Omni, distract him by making some noise at alley and have somebody slide out to try to pick him from mid. All this one-on-one affair like Twisted just attempted right now, it's not going to work when you have an Opera on fire.
No, it's definitely not. And Twisted got caught with his nade out right there, which they need to figure out a different way to throw those smokes if they can't get him undercover, because that is not working out for us so far.
Absolutely not. One terrorist trying to make it through here, throws an errant smoke. Dix is kind of exposed to Omni's op because, well, the smoke didn't cover nearly as much of the hallway as he would have liked it to. Another smoke will do the job, though. He'll try to charge through, but this is a narrow hallway, and they're just going to spam him. Nubler looking on, trying to find Dix in the smoke, and he saw his elbow. If he just paid attention, there it is. Dix goes down, 2 left, Frank Grimes, and what the Fender. They'll both be coming through the mid connector. Miller main waiting for one. Sees the shot. What the Fender gets the better of Miller main with an op, and the better of Nubler. It's down to a 2-on-3. Everybody's super weak here. Frank Grimes underneath. Couldn't get the double. 9 rounds only for the terrorists here, and we're on to the tie point for Frag Machines.
Yep, and we're going to be on another save round for the terrorists, actually. And look at this, the money is actually really low, so if they don't get a bomb plant, then they're not going to be looking good for next round either.
I think at this point on train, your mind has already given up on the idea of winning this map, and you're preparing to fight the next one.
Definitely possible. Definitely possible. You see the rush is actually going to be going inner. Nubler has a chance going big here. Does get 2, 3, and that's going to leave 2 members left over at that lower B entrance. But look, Fender's coming back in. That's actually Ender. Picks up a kill, and he's gonna be able to get a weapon for himself, but could be too little too late as the nade takes him down with the touchdown. Twisted does get the bomb plant, which is exactly what they needed to do. And so they should have some sufficient money here to buy for the last round.
Frag Machines gets that
potential
defuse.
last
They've
round.
moved on to the match point. They need one more to win it. Clay, there's 2 schools of thought on this, too. We talked about schools of thoughts for how to isolate positions. Now we're talking about schools of thoughts on how to operate macro management of the game. So in the macro sense, do you tell your team to not worry about the score and play round to round and try to win every map? Or do you start to logistically plan for how to beat the team on the next map? There's merits to both, and there really are, and it's a wonder how teams operate. Do you think about the long run of trying to just get this over with, move on to the next map, or do you try to parcel it into the short term and grind your teeth and win this map?
Uh, I think I would subscribe to the idea of playing it for each map, not just giving it up just because you're down already. You know, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen someone come back here and win out a match, take it to overtime, and then win. So
How do you get on the Civo Center highlights if not for huge clutches, right?
exactly, and look at this. See, they pick up that round, and they, like I said, they got the money they needed. They're able to get it, and now they only need to win 5 more if they want to get it. Which, I mean, that is a pretty daunting task, but it can be done.
It absolutely can be if you start to build up the cash here. You need to have the nades to be successful on train, and like we said, that round and rounds before had been successful because of their use of ancillary weapons like smoke grenades, like flashbangs, and this is the sort of recurring theme here. We see a couple of smokes thrown over the top to give them access to the bomb site, or flashes, I guess, to give them access to the bomb site, so they'll have another chance here. Omni fighting off, has a double with his ops, peeks again, has it, oh, misses that shot for the triple. SLI comes out from the Z connector, will bring down Frank Grimes, and suddenly it all fell apart. Frag Machines just burst open everything at the seams. They're 16-10, they take the first map.
Yep, first map goes to Frag Machines. Dix gets himself a weapon kit. Great.
Ooh. You guys are watching Civo TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is Klops. This is the altPUG League.